Hi guys, it's Mystic Gaming here. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Nikon D3200. Now this is my new camera which I bought to do tech reviews. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look around the device firstly, then we're going to have a look at the video quality and photo quality of it, and then we're just going to finish up with my opinion. So taking a look around the device, or the camera. On the front you have the 18 to 55mm lens. That is the stock lens that comes with this camera. You can move it by pressing this little button here. Once when you're pressing that, you can then turn it to take off the camera. Now this camera is actually a really small camera, and here is the lens, the 18 to 55mm lens. So there's the 18 to 55mm lens. That's where it goes onto the camera, and that's, yeah, of course, the other side of it. Now there is manual focus on this camera, as you can probably, or as you know. So here is the body of the Nikon D3200. So on the front, that's where you would put your lens, and that's just as it is. So in there you've got your mirror for the lens, nice Nikon D3200 badge, and it is actually really comfortable. There's leather here, so you've got a tight grip. There's a light there for when you're taking photos in the dark. Now on the top of it, you actually have the on and off switch of it. So there's the on, so to turn it on you will flick that, and then the screen will come on like that. So also here you have a information button, so once when you're in to the filming part of it, you have the option to have information on the screen, so like microphone levels, recording time, and just general stuff like that. Here you have a recording button as normal stuff as like you would do to record. So here you then have the scroll wheel. Now I'm quite new to this camera, so I'm not sure what most of these do. I'm just doing an overview of this camera. So most of these are for photography. This is a photography camera, but it has video built in. Although on this camera there is a 20-minute recording limit time on it. But over here you do have MASP. Now M is for manual, A is for automatic, and I'm not sure what S or P stands for. On guide, that's where you can actually go through the camera in the guide menu. So turning on the device, we're in guide mode at the moment, so we're just going to go into manual for now. And then here is the home screen, so you'll just have all the stuff that you've got on at the moment. So my iOS is at 100 for now. Not sure what it did there. So you have your iOS, that's how bright the camera actually is, like the pictures, how bright you actually want it to be. I'm not sure why the screen keeps coming up. I'm going to put the lens on the camera. Bear with me while I do that. Okay, there you are. Might actually do. Right, so here is the iOS, is how bright you actually want your pictures to actually be. There you have, at the top you have just your quality. There is autofocus or manual. There is how wide you want the picture to be, and just general stuff like that. And that's basically it for this screen. Now here you have a playback button, you have a menu button, a zoom in button, a zoom out button, and a information button. Here you have the LV button, the live view button up there. I'm not really sure what that button does. You then have a scroll for the menu, so an OK button for the menu. There you have the release mode, so you can have single frame, continuous self-timer, delayed, remote, or quiet shutter release, which might be good in like quiet areas if you're out doing photography. And also on the camera you have a bin button, so once when you take photos that you don't want, you can press that button to delete them. So pressing the LV button will go into live view, which will then give you the option to then scroll in and out and have a look around like that. And then going out of live view, of course, put you back into your menu. So now what we're going to go and do is take a look at video quality and photography capability of this camera. guys, just before we get into the photography part of it, on the side you have the SD cards. This is where you would put in the SD card for your camera. So at the moment I have 64 gig in there. And on the other side, you then have a mic input for a mic. You also have an AV output, so you can plug it into a TV. Also a HDMI output, so you can also plug it into a TV. Also a GPS, and I think that's a input for plugging in a remote like shutter thing. So now let's take a look at the video quality and picture quality of this camera. So now I have switched over to the Nikon. Now this is off the audio of the Nikon D3200. The reason why the images that you just seen are a lot darker than the ones that you saw before was because the iOS sensitivity was really low on the camera. I do apologise for that. So that's why the picture is a lot darker than it was before. Now at the moment I have got manual focus on, and we're going to actually test it out. So here I have my phone, and what I want to do is I want to focus onto my phone. Now, as you probably just heard, you can hear that noise. Now, that noise is actually the camera focusing. Now, you can fix that by putting into manual focus, but that does mean you have to then manual focus everything that you want to show people. So that is actually really annoying, that it has to actually make this noise to actually focus onto an object. So, what I'm now going to show you now is some outside images and videos outside. So now I'm outside using some moving video quality of this camera. Now in my opinion this actually looks really good for a picture camera for video. So now I'm going to show you some pictures that I took earlier. So what do I think of this camera? I actually really like this camera because it can do photography. That's kind of what the point of this camera is. But if you're buying this for filming and for video, it probably isn't the camera for you. Now, me personally, I do a bit of photography and I'm mainly going to use it for filming. Now, filming is not what it's supposed to use for, but it is actually really good quality for a video camera, although it's a picture camera. So I do like the lens on it. It's 80 to 55mm, which will give you a nice distance of zooming in and zooming out, which is good. The feel of it is actually really good, so you can actually hold that really nicely and it won't slip out of your hand or anything. Also in the box you will get a load of accessories, including an extra battery, a charging brick, you plug it into the wall, a strap and some other neat features or things. So I actually really like this camera. The battery life of it is actually really long. I've actually gone on a photo shoot for over an hour and the battery's lost, or one of the batteries has lost that. I also like how they put a mic input on the top of the camera, so there it is. There, and also they put the option to put the mic and also other things such as a light. You can put on a view monitor or finder on the top, so an extra internal screen. So one thing I forgot to show you earlier, at the bottom, that's where you put your battery in, and also a tripod mount on the bottom, so you can use it and so you can put it on tripods. So I actually really like this camera. It is quite expensive for what you're getting, but you are getting quite a lot for your money. So this will be the last video that I will be using my iPhone for, because now I'm going to be moving over to this camera here. So in my opinion this is good for people that just want to like start out photography. I've done a review on some iPhone lens kits, so if you don't spend money on a camera you can spend it on some lenses for your iPhone to check if you want to try out photography. This is good for people that want to do photography, professional photographers, and also people that in my opinion, just want to like film and get a good quality like film camera, although you can buy other like video cameras which are actually meant for video, but because I want to do a bit of both, this camera is basically perfect. So guys, you've enjoyed this review on the Nikon D3200, then don't forget to give me a like, comment and subscribe, and guys, I'll see you next time.